Hjertelig velkommen tilbake til min kanal. Jeg heter Felicia og kommer jeg fra Malaysia. Og Malaysia er muslimland, men jeg er ikke muslim. Vi har jo frihet til å ha på hijab, eller ikke ha på den. Jeg synes hijab var veldig fin, men det er veldig varmt å ha på den i Malaysia. What's up guys? How have you guys been doing? This season 4 of Skam is all about Sana, and that's why I'm wearing a hijab. But it's pretty warm to wear here in Malaysia, so I'm just gonna take it off. I love the part Sana replied to Vilde. There's no one forcing me to wear it. I wear it because I want to. A lot of people has this perception where if you're a Muslim, you must wear a hijab. There is a freedom to wear a hijab or not wear a hijab in Malaysia, regardless you're Muslim or not. Just like our Prime Minister's wife. Look how big her hair is. So ever since Isak or Evan got really famous around the world, P3.no is not available to watch anymore in Malaysian. I was so devastated when I came back and I tried watching and I couldn't watch, but thanks to YouTube and Dailymotion, it was really helpful to catch up with what's going on with season 4. Here's the conclusion and my opinion on Skam season 4, since I come from a Muslim country. So my first impression when Sana came out for the preview that this season is gonna be all about Sana, I was like,
oh my gosh, are they gonna play that big? Like, this is quite a sensitive issue. They could have stood up if they really did something wrong.
So we know that Skam is going big, baby. They are gonna target all the sensitive issues in this world, and I actually believe they're gonna pull it off. Well, living in Malaysia my whole life, we are very used to the Muslim festival, food, culture, praying times, and we all know how to respect them. Just FYI, Malaysia consists of a multicultural people. For example, the Chinese, the Malay, the Indian,
And blah 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 blah.
any Malay race that is born in Malaysia is obligated and born Muslim. They have no liberty of choosing their religion and changing it. To be honest, I never really paid much attention to Sana in the other kinds of videos because I have this fear for her personality and how strong she is and being really bossy. But nevertheless, this season kind of changed my total opinion of Sana. And also I learned a lot about how it's like being a Muslim in Norway, because in Malaysia it's pretty common, but when it comes to Norway, sometimes I could feel myself relate to this just because I look different. I mean, to see Sana going for parties and brews and not drinking at all, like all the time, it's crazy. Like, to be honest, a lot of people would be easily influenced by friends, and I can see that how their gang of friends were being so nice and not influencing Sana into betraying her religion and drinking alcohol instead. But in this season, you can see the struggle that Sana faced, not peer pressure, but just to fit in a group, and to the extent of even secretly having party at the parents' home when the parents is not around. I was like totally terrified, like shit, I knew it's gonna happen. The parents are gonna come back, she's gonna panic, she might fucked up, and there goes. Sana will be super grounded forever. But thankfully, it did not happen. She did not get grounded at all.
The first part where Sana tries to get the wristboost, it was really smart. Like, even though she was bossy, but she knows what she do.
I find her strong personality really admirable, especially the part she twisted the plan that they were supposed to buy it, but then in the end the other group had to pay for it, and she gets to be the boss of the wristboost, and plus her gangs get to go in for free without even paying. Like, how on earth did that happen? Like, she's so smart. She could even be like a freaking genius lawyer. Sana, just cancel off your biology and becoming a doctor. Just become a lawyer or some crazy CEO.
Perfect negotiator. I love that also you can see Sana's personality, where we always perceive that Sana is being strong. and fierce on the outward looking. Even Noora said, who would have thought Sana would have a soft side?
When she overheard the other groups talk bad about her, did their plans to kick her off the bus, I was like,
damn, what a bitchy Norwegian group of girls. And then finally she had the chance to pay back, and I was like, hell yeah, Sana, go, 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 pay back. Like, in my mind I was like, it's payback time. Those girls are so mean, they deserve it. But again, like, this Skam plot twist was just
unpredictable. Like, who would have thought, like, Sana doing like this would backlash her back? Instead, everyone hates the person who posted about this. And then it hits me to a realization that, Felicia, it's not good to think like that. Because if people always
backstabbing each other, doing things like this, there will be an unending war. And what Sana just created was just a small social media war which affected her friends, and plus it framed and included other people whom are not involved in it. For example, Isak. In this part, this Skam gave us a very good lesson that no matter how angry you are at someone, no matter how you hate that person, don't pay back. Just don't do it. Probably it will backlash back to you and you get worse consequences.
And that you can see Sana is so strong in her faith that it inspires us to also be strong in our kind of faith, that she prays not really for herself much, but she prays for her friends and even Isak, Evan, Eskil. Oh, and then when it comes to love, I usually think Sana would never ever fall for a guy. But she met Yusuf and Yusuf was like hot. Everyone thought he was Muslim until he said that no, he's not. Like, what? Who would have thought? In Norway, they have the freedom to choose if they want to be or not to be, and Yusuf is just one of the examples that they might look like Muslim, but they're not. What I like about Sana and Yusuf is that you can see how cute their relationship or the courtship.
And for once, Skam has no really obscene kissing scenes or like hugging or on the back kind of scenes, so
it was pretty pleasant for my eyes. Call me old-fashioned, but I like it. Because it reminds me of my school days when I started out having my first boyfriend. It was all like this. Like, it was just plain, no touching, no kissing, just chatting a lot and getting to know each other.
When the part Ilyas punched Isak, and then everyone had this conclusion where they punched each other, they got a fight, it's because Isak was gay, but no.
It turned out the reason was that Isak started it first, so we can't really blame everything to Ilyas or judge him just because he punched Isak. Most of all, when you see the sweetest moment, like Isak and Sana, who would have thought like these two people would be best bud, and the part where like, you were best bud, yeah? And then Sana was like, you know Sana, but that she's actually meaning it in her heart because she told a lot of stuff to Isak, which she never really told to other friends as well, except for Chris.
I love Chris' reaction when Sana just told her that, oh, she's the one that did all the thing, and Chris was like, oh, good, okay. She was like super chill, like, if I was it, I would be like...
Chris has really this kind of confidence level that
friends will always forgive and stick together no matter what. And the coolest part is when she already admitted and then they want to have this group gang, and then it felt like a whole bunch of gang of friends would just go against her. But it was super cool that the friends just came with a van pimped with lightings and cool sofas like a Rus van, and I was like, what? Where did they get their money from? Come on! Even the Rus was like so freaking expensive. And plus they got a van. Okay, it's cheaper, but like, they bought it or rented. Like, it looked like they were able to afford a freaking van. Oh my gosh. Rich Norwegian kids.
That's the beauty of being a student. Friendships are much stronger at your school times. And if you guys who are still studying, do cherish your friendships, because I've lost mine. And that's because I travel, I go to another country, and then some of my friends, they move to other countries as well, so we're just apart so much, and then the only way to communicate most of the time is only Facebook and Skype. But I guess once we're busy with life, you just never think of that because you have found somebody so comfortable with, and you probably found your own gang of friends in another country, so things change. Finally, the part when William appeared, I literally had my goosebumps, like,
Also, I think his new hair is much better than the previous one because I think he kind of straightened it much nicer.
Finally, this is the part where I've seen is Chris and Eva.
My jaw literally dropped when Eva's mom came into the room when they were like making out on the bed, and then
Chris really came up with this blanket and just say hi to the mom like that. It was really cool. I think he's really, really hot. He totally looks like a player, and I never thought he would be serious with Eva. To think of my situation,
if my mom ever comes in like that, I think the guy would be killed. She would take the broom and chase him off and hit him like crazy. That's my mom. For culture shock, I really think Eva's mom was like, wow, really, really chill and cool with that. Like,
I still remember when I had my first boyfriend when I was 16 years old, and my mom literally went up to his house and told him if he ever sees me again, she'll call the police. Like, that's how freaky Asian moms can be, especially here in Malaysia. So you guys living in Norway, if your mom is that chill, you're lucky. This season of Sana is finally coming to an end, and I'm very proud that Skam made this video to show how the Muslims people are living in Norway and what they are facing, so that people in Norway would understand much better, not only just Norway, in the world. Because of all this war of ISIS, everyone has this bad impression of it. But come on, I'm living in Malaysia, and if everyone tells you it's dangerous to come to Malaysia, don't believe them. It's freaking safe, like in terms of bombing. Finally, I really want to end this really nice quote that inspired me and what Sana said. War doesn't start with violence. It starts with misunderstanding and prejudice. For example, like what we've seen in Skam, the misunderstanding and prejudice you faced during this Ruspus thing. If you say you're in a favor of a world full of peace, you have to try to understand what others think and act the way they do. And that we need to humble ourselves and learn others people's culture. You have to accept that not everyone in this world sees the way you do.
just like my YouTube comments, there are haters because they cannot understand what they do not see the world I do.
Finally, you cannot believe that everyone, or even the website, anything you get from the internet, that has the answer to be right or wrong. Stay strong to your belief and be wise to judge your own what is right and what is wrong. Finally, all are enough. Thank you guys for subscribing and watching my channel. I hope you learned a lot about my different culture and where I'm from. If there's any other questions you're curious about and you want to know about, just place in the comments down there. I'll try to do a Q&A, or if I can, I have time, I would reply your comment. To all my Muslims friends around the world who are watching this, Happy Eid Mubarak. And in Malaysia, we call it Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri. Thank you so much and have a great day. Tusen Dank Allah. Hada.